So it's been hot, too hot, I would say. Not digging it. It means when it's like just a little too hot, it means I'm not too keen on riding the bike as much, just because I'm sweating profusely. And so with that, especially, on days where I'm going to work and, I got things to do, I don't want to have been sweating a lot. I don't want to get to work and then to go towel myself off. So we resort to, being inside of a car during this time, which is, no problem with me. I prefer having a good amount of AC. I like having AC. That's one of the only downsides about the motorcycle, is not having a good, reliable, consistent form of air conditioning, because I'm kind of just forced to be air conditioned by the environment, by the world. And like I said, when it's super hot, I don't care how fast you're going or how much kind of wind you're getting, to hit you. If it's 100-some degrees outside, all you're getting to hit you is hot air, warm air. It might be a little cooler feeling ever so slightly, but it's still warm. It's still gross. Anytime you're stopping too much or getting stuck at a stoplight, you start heating up. If I'm here at this kind of okay chilling sort of temperature, I'm only gonna build up when I stop moving. As traffic slows down, I'm forced to slow down as I maneuver through people. If I'm forced to go slower, it means less air, which can mean less refreshing feelings. It's definitely one of the only downsides that I have. So when it's super duper hot, I'm okay, just being inside the car. It just means I gotta set up this bad boy on the window. I've been messing around with the mount that this is currently on, and what I've kind of been seeing, because I saw this one video somebody had where it was they attached it to the side mirror here and kind of extended the camera out to face forward, so that you get a pretty decent POV of me as if I was wearing it, on a helmet and you were here, or on my forehead and maybe you were here. So it looks like a pretty good POV. But what I've been messing around trying to do it just feels I don't know where I should put it exactly in relation to me, because I feel to have the best view, it needs to be at my eye level. And if the camera's at my eye level, that means I've got a camera right here. I can maybe try to do it similar to the motorcycle helmet, where it's mouth, chin level, but it's still just kind of obscuring, and I feel that's sort of dangerous. So I'm not sure what the plan is for that, or what the ideal thing is. I'm also trying to step up my, I don't want to call it uniform game, because we don't really have uniforms, but I've been kind of trying to step up my outfit game going into work, because I am in charge, so I feel I should somewhat dress the part or look the part. And being lazy and just wearing plain black t-shirts all the time will do good for most of the time. I have a few other colors, but usually I prefer to wear all black. And sometime last year I had bought 2 blazers to wear, a black one and a very dark blue one, and have that as to be my low effort business casual type thing, where I just throw that on over, and it would do enough, I think. But sometimes I wonder if I need to really just take myself higher to really make myself stand out and look more like someone that gives a crap. Maybe that's my problem, is maybe I look too casual. I'm too chill, so that people are maybe we don't want to come here. But if I look like I'm dressed to the nines, well, not that much. I'm feeling wearing one of these guys with the blazer over would be perfect, because I'm still wearing dark blue jeans, and I'll wear probably my random sneakers that look decent enough. I hardly doubt I'll be wearing my motorcycle boots. Unless I have to ride my motorcycle that day, then I would be. Could be wearing those. I feel the shoes won't matter too much. As an entire outfit, yeah, I'd probably ruin it and not look too good. For me to look my best, I think I probably have to wear my cowboy boots. That way I'm looking formal enough head to toe, as opposed to head to ankle, and then you get to the toes and you're what the hell, this dude's wearing random Nikes. Why is he wearing running shoes with the rest of this outfit? I'm I don't know, dude. They're comfortable. You're gonna see me from the waist up or like at least, halfway, like the torso up, you're not gonna see everything. Don't look at everything. Don't analyze it. Don't judge it. Just accept how I'm looking from the waist up. And the fact that, okay, maybe you're allowed to look at the pants, because if I was wearing like a really ugly color of pants or a really bad type of pants, then I guess that would be a problem. The whole outfit would be clashing if I'm wearing like pink pants. But it is what it is. I'm gonna do my best to step up my game, because the only thing I don't like is the shopping and the finding things. Like, I feel like I got lucky when I got the 2 blazers I did, because I was like, I found within this specific brand, this specific item in their product line for that specific brand, I managed to find out exactly what size I am. So as long as I'm buying from them and probably these specific blazers, I can know what size I am. But if I were to try that with like another brand, how did it translate over? And I've never liked sizing or dealing with the sizing kind of mismatch that brands normally have, or like, in some shirts I'm like a large, and then in some other shirts I'm an extra large. And again, it just depends, unfortunately, on the brand. And I hate it because I can't comfortably buy things, because I'll end up saying like, okay, I'll play it safe, I'll go for the extra large, because that's usually what it is. And then it's like, oh, it turns out to be that one brand where like they make things kind of bigger, so the extra large feels like a 2X, and now it's definitely way too bad, and then it would have been perfect with a large. Or it's one of those things where some brands, unfortunately, there's like just such a huge jump sometimes. Like you feel like small to medium to large is like small and incremental, but then like large to extra large is like a huge leap. Where like now I'll try a shirt, especially like a long sleeve shirt, I'll try a long sleeve shirt and like a large, and I'm like, oh man, it's just like, it's a little too tight here, like I'd have to like suck it in all day, I'm feeling a little too tight. But like the sleeve length is perfect, everything else is perfect about this. The length is perfect, except for how it's kind of wrapping around me, right? So I'm like, okay, I gotta jump up to the extra large. Throw on the extra large, and now I'm wearing like a dress. The sleeves are like 4 inches longer. Now they don't like fit as nice and straight. They'll come off of my hands or off of my wrists too much. Like if I were to like, my hands down to my side, it's like I look like a kid wearing their parents' shirt, because they're just like dangling. And so that means like if they got cuffs, sure, I can cuff them and get them to stay at the wrist, but since the sleeve is so much longer, you're getting so much more bunching down there or along the sleeve. And now it's just super long, and like maybe the tightness is like now perfect, or like now this is like really great, but now there's just so much more wrong where it's so much longer. So it's like, well, I'm never gonna wear this untucked because it looks like I'm wearing a dress, so we gotta wear it tucked in. And then the sleeves are too much of a problem, and it's just like there's just so much things, so many things that are just frustrating. And it's like, I wish, because I think I'm in that fine line where I'm just like right in between the two sizes, or I just need to lose like a little more weight, like I've been trying to do, and just I think I'll slowly creep into just like consistently wearing large more often than I'm wearing an extra large, and that'll be fun. That'll be great. There's a hearse. Oh shit! How did I just run over? One other thing that kind of sucks sometimes too is realizing how much of clothing, especially for men, is tailored to the slim fit type deal. Like, we want this to be a little tight on you just so it accentuates, how thin you are. It can accentuate your muscles or something, and just be like a nice tailored feeling fit, instead of being something baggy where the sleeves are like too large and like flowy, looks like you're wearing a blouse. And for me, just because I know that as sizes get bigger, it ends up looking so weird and dress-like and big and flowy, that I prefer to like gravitate towards more slim-fitting things, because I don't like how just big and baggy pants can look. I feel like I don't look good in things that are baggy and like wide. I want things to be I've always preferred that. I've always preferred to wear like the slim cut jeans, wearing things that were slimmer, not the slimmest. And I try to follow the same thing with like the clothes that I wear, you know, like the pants, the shirts, the jackets. I don't want these big, ugly, baggy things because I feel like it just looks not so appealing or attractive to be wearing something so baggy. And then also it just feels like, and I hate the fact that it's like a safe thing for a larger person to wear, you know? It's like you don't want to look fat, layer up, you know, wear some baggy clothes so that people can't tell how thick your legs are or how big your stomach is. And I hate that because like anytime I'm self-conscious about myself, I won't resort to wearing the baggiest things, but I'll resort to being like finding something neutral and just not wearing the things I want to wear because I know that the things I want to wear are the things that are going to, you know, hug my body a bit tighter because it's just the way it has to be, especially for a lot of things. I either have a shirt that looks like it's a size or two too big and have that be, you know, just be happy with that because I don't look so fat. I don't look like I'm about to burst out of the buttons. But at the same time, it looks not so good because I have this shirt that is so large, like circumference-wise, to fit a larger person, that instead of getting the tightness that I'm avoiding, I end up getting, like, you just end up seeing how baggy it kind of looks. You see how it's like, oh god, the guy does not fit into this. You want something that is right on the cusp of looking too tight. You want it to be nicely sized and going around you without being, you know, buttons tightly pulled apart like they're about to freaking explode, right? It's got to find that perfect middle ground to get things that look and feel like they're tailored the way they should be. It just sucks that when you're a bit bigger, that, you know, body hugging tightness will really just accentuate how fat you are. And I hate it. It really sucks. Maybe I need a vest. I've been thinking about getting a vest. Because, like, if I get something that just kind of sits nicely here and covers the thinner fabric, it'd be nice. Because I've been watching a lot of The Mentalist lately. Or rewatching it. Again, for I'd say, like, the 4th or 5th time. Because, God, do I love that show. And one thing, especially ever since I was younger, one thing I always really liked was how the main character, Patrick Jane, would dress. He'd wear like a nice, a simple like 3-piece suit, always different. I think he had like 4 or 5 different ones, or like varying shades of like gray and like blue. And I think most of them had like a little slight stripiness to it, a little pinstripiness. But it was always that. It was always the pants, jacket, vest. And he'd wear, you know, like a random button shirt. He wouldn't wear a tie. It would always just be, come on, dude. He wouldn't wear a tie. It'd always be, you know, first button, you know, the top button, or maybe the second button also. Like, and he would never wear a tie with it. It'd always be like pretty casual about it. And he'd always have like the top button or two unbuttoned, just because, again, it was this chillness to it. But like the niceness of just wearing that 3-piece suit means like even as casual as you're trying to go for, you're still looking pretty good. But it never felt like he was too fancy. And I always loved the way those outfits looked and always wanted to do something. But for me, it was like, where exactly am I in my life that I could get away with wearing that as like a common outfit choice, you know what I mean? Because he had his reasons to wear it. He had a, you know, proper adult job investigating murders or helping investigate murders. You know, he had like a professional adult enough job to go to. And it's like, I myself, I would feel like maybe I'm just like going from like how I am now with throwing a blazer over this, feeling like I'm either like perfectly dressed or slightly overdressed, And then it's like throwing the matching pants and the vest, and now I feel like I'm like just way overdressed for the job that I have. And it just really sucks because it's like I like to be known as someone that was, always dressing all like fancier, a little better. But when you're like surrounding yourself, or just like the people you have around you, it's like, do you always want to be the one just severely overdressed and sticking out like a sore thumb? Like, you think about realistically, what would people wear when they go out? Are they gonna wear the 3-piece suit? No. They're gonna throw on maybe a nice button shirt. Maybe. Or they'll just have a nicer t-shirt, decent jacket or something, like a leather jacket, a bomber jacket, something they like, a good hoodie. And it's like you're just thinking about these sort of just differences in like modern fashion, and also just like regional fashion, and just who you are and where you are tied in with how people are in this, era. How are they dressing like fancier or for like better occasions? I don't know. I'll see how I proceed. I have one of these like light blue shirts that you can kind of tell, and I bought a black one as well because I like black, and then 2 white ones because they had a pretty good deal, and I figured white might be a commonly worn one, especially since it's a lighter color. It'll go with pretty much a lot more. Pretty similar thing to this light blue one. I was thinking of doing 2 whites, 2 light blues, but I saw the black and I was like, I do like black. We can see how that looks. I feel like it's a good color to use that, like, while keeping that same sort of like level of effort. I feel like a black button shirt is ever so slightly more casual, just because it's not one of the like, office job, one of the more common office job, colors of shirts, right? Because you imagine a lot of lighter colors, the whites, the light blues. You just imagine a lot of lighter colors. You don't really go thinking that you'd be wearing a deep black shirt. So that's why I feel like that one can give a more casual vibe, or at least take this level of effort into like a different, I don't want to say a completely different direction, but a direction that's like adjacent. It's get parked. Good. Oh, we are perfect. All right. Oh, that's it for now. I'm at work. Time to head inside, get things squared away, and have a nice day. I'm gonna go throw on my blazer. Probably wear the black one today. Thanks for hanging out with me on my ride to work. I will catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. I love all your beautiful faces. Yeah, we're just gonna go all here. We'll see you guys later. Bye.